And Attorney Jay Kanzler joins us now to discuss the legal implications of this report. Jay, thanks for coming in today. A lot to go through here. Is there anything from this report, from a legal standpoint, that got your attention saying, uh-oh, this could be trouble for the governor?
I think the number one thing that came through in this report is that the committee absolutely found the woman to be credible. That is, they believed her, and many cases are won and lost based on how the star witness performs. And in this case, the committee believed her. The second was, I think we saw much more circumstantial evidence of the picture actually having been taken. Now, the prosecution would love to have the picture, which is an essential element of the crime, but they don't need the picture. They can listen to testimony and determine that a picture was actually taken, and based on the report, that evidence appears to be there.
So according, and again, these are her words there, if someone says, I have a naked picture, partially nude picture of you, I'm going to put it out there for everybody to see. That's enough because you think the picture's there. Is that correct?
Well, I think it's not so much that you think the picture is there. That goes to the breach or the invasion of privacy, but the fact that the person admitted having the picture and the only way the picture could get there is if you took it, that's enough to get the picture element satisfied.
Okay, from looking at social media, I think people are lumping these two things together. The criminal trial taking place in St. Louis versus this report that's just out of Jefferson City. They're separate, but will this have an impact on the upcoming trial, or will they stay that separate?
I would love to tell you that jurors completely park and leave behind anything they have ever heard when they enter the jury room. I don't think that's possible, and obviously some of this is going to influence the jury. Now, we haven't heard from the governor, and the governor's testimony, if he testifies, or the witnesses presented by the governor, will also be heard by the jury, and they will weigh those two things. But this report, this was not a good day for the governor.
Again, at this point, and it needs to be pointed out, these are her words, right?
Correct.
We haven't heard his words. We may not. So it's a he said, she said situation here.
I think at this point, I don't know whether he decides to testify. He has a constitutional right not to testify. He would be hard-pressed at this point not to testify.
Okay, I want to get into this because one of the things a lot of people have talked about, we talk about it on our weekend political show, if she was so scared from this first instance, which is detailed in the report, why did she keep going back for upwards of 8 months? She explains why, and you can read that in here. But here's where I think it gets complex. She said she didn't want to go forward. She wanted this in her past. You don't have a picture, and you have a woman who said that, I don't have any interest in getting dragged into that. Is that going to be difficult when it comes to trial, or do you even need that?
I think the political side of this is separate. Why this charge was brought in the first place, were there political motivations for that? There might be, but that's kind of, now we are where we are, and they were brought, and the testimony's out there, and the question then becomes for the jury, was a crime committed, regardless of why the prosecutor chose to do that. As far as her coming back, I think we have to be careful not to blame the victim here. We get that a lot in sexual assault trials. Well, did you fight hard enough for the rape? Did you just give in? You were asking for it. It's very important not to do that, and to say, with somebody in power abuses, either sexually or otherwise, someone, it's easy to say, well, you didn't put up enough of a fight or you went along willingly. You have to be very careful in those instances.
And again, in these cases, you know, the whole thing, she may have dreamed it, not exactly accurate according to the testimony, but she's becoming a bad guy in this case, and it is careful because she didn't want a part of it. She wanted it done. So in this case, if you're defending the governor, after you see this, what do you change getting ready for the trial? Anything, or you just keep moving on?
I think I concentrate on, I think at this point you're going to have to attack her credibility. I look for things that she said at one time that were different at another time, and I pick up on that dream element, just giving enough reasonable doubt to the jury to say, we're not sure enough to convict a governor of this crime.
Okay, Jay, it was good to see you.
Bet.
Appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here. You'll be on the radio tonight,
I
KTRS,
will, 9 to
correct?
midnight.
Okay.